back to my channel. If this is your first time seeing any of my videos, my name is Bwandungi and I am so glad that you're here. Welcome! I know your time is precious and that you have other things to do with your day, but I am glad that you are here watching this video. There are a number of things that I would like to talk about today, and part of it is for me to go through my own thoughts and feelings about this. The other part is to ask for your help and advice, because sometimes we just get stuck in a place and the solutions that we're able to come across are either unsatisfactory or just sometimes not what we want to hear because, you know, whatever's going on, we haven't dealt with our issues. I may have not dealt with my issues, but I am interested in engaging you in this conversation. I need the wealth of information from other people. And having never done an MFA or a writing degree or course of some sort, I don't have all the answers that I could have. I live in Canada's capital. I have had such a difficult time connecting with the writers group. The only group that I could find on meetups.com was one that met after dinner during the week. The problem is I need to sleep early in order to wake up early in order for my day to be great. So I can't be out of the house from 7 till 9. So I had a thought, and I'm not sure whether this is something that I actually want to get into, but what I want to do is start a writing group. The purpose of this writing group is to attract people who are like me, who do not have a background in writing. We haven't done any creative writing courses that will give you some kind of certificate or acknowledgement of having done this course. We don't have MFAs, we did something else, and now we decided that we want to write a book. The other thing that I would like to have in this writing group is diverse voices, because even the writing group that I mentioned before that meets in the evening tends to be slightly homogenous. Canada is so diverse. Ottawa is so diverse. There's so many people who are living here from all kinds of walks of life. Even when two people who are born in Ottawa have similar backgrounds, they may end up having different experiences. So having them talk about their experiences or writing about them becomes something that's really interesting and something that I'd like to foster. Facebook doesn't seem to be the place where I want this group to exist. Although everyone is on Facebook, I'm not sure. But it has to be something that people can engage with even when they live far away. It takes a long time. There are tons of people in Ottawa, and it takes such a long time to get from where you live to go downtown to some central meeting place. So it would also have to take place online. Those are the three things. Number one, people without background, without training in creative writing. The second one is diverse voices. The third one is meeting online. Those are my three requirements for my writing group. The second thing that I wanted to talk about was something that became so interesting to me, but let me start at the beginning. I want to share with you the books that I am consuming right now. The first book that I would like to share with you, I've actually finished reading it, was given to me by my best cousin. And this is the book. It is called Stranger in My Bed, written by Penelope Sanyu. She is this wonderful Ugandan girl that I got to meet when I was in Uganda, and she gave me her book to read. The book is basically about a couple who go through trials and tribulations as they try to get their relationship together. But I found something so difficult, an experience that I hadn't had in another book, is I didn't want this relationship to work. I hated the relationship for these two people. I hated the man for her, and I hated the woman for him. Can you imagine? And yet at the end, they get together. Like, how do you resolve that? I had so much internal conflict. I had such an interesting reaction to this book. I'd never had it before. Because usually you want the people to get together. You want them to resolve the issues between them. And it seemed like they did, but you know they didn't. Something is about to go wrong with this relationship. And I wish the book had been longer and told us what happened afterwards. That would be so great. So anyway, that is Stranger in My Bed by Penelope Sanyu. The other book that I am reading is The Chwezi Code by Twinamasiko. Usually, and this is a terrible habit, don't do it. When I'm reading a book, if I get to a place that's just so descriptive that it's slowing me down from reading the story and enjoying the tension or the speed of the adventure, I will usually skip those paragraphs and continue. But I cannot do that with this book. It's not that he's using difficult text, but he's using unusual language that I'm not used to in popular books. I'm really enjoying the process of slowing down in order to understand understand the things that he's talking about. They're not regular themes that I have read in books. It is not written in the kind of way that I'm used to fantasy books being written, because there are gods in here. There are East African, there are Ugandan gods in here, people. The reason why I wanted to tell you about the books that I'm reading is because whenever I read something, it tends to influence the way that I'm writing, or it makes me think about a different way in which I can handle my characters or my plot or my story in general. One of the things that happened with Penelope Sanyu's book is that I wasn't rooting for the relationship. I actually did not want it to work out. And the simple reason is that I just believed that the man wasn't good for her, that his change really wasn't authentic, and he was going to get back to his old habits. That doesn't inherently make a story unenjoyable or bad. It was something that I had not read recently, as having a relationship that I wasn't rooting for. It's the main relationship of the story, and yet at the end I was so conflicted in my being. You want her to be happy, she wants the man, but you just don't think that this is the right fit. What does that mean about some of the relationships that I will be writing into my story? With two people who become friends, should they stay friends? And if they do in fact stay friends, will it be to the detriment of their own person, of their souls, of their spirits? I'm thinking I might actually adopt that. Other thing that I'm taking away is from the Chwezi Code. It is so unusual. It takes a little bit more effort on my part to imagine this world, instead of descriptions that would be easier for my mind to chew on, and I just fill in the holes with my own ideas. This is making me go slower because I'm not used to reading books in this setting, which is really important. Being a Ugandan from Uganda, not being used to reading books that are set in places like the Chwezi Code is set in. That is actually an interesting conversation. I'll have to have it some other time. Those are the two books that are affecting my reading right now. I'm so pleased that they're Ugandan authors and that they have made me start thinking about the way that I'm writing and challenging me in ways that are interesting. And that is going to bring me to my third thought, to my third idea, something that I wanted to talk about: writing controversial ideas into your story. The constant problem that we face as people who are writing stories is that we have chosen this as our career. Even though we're writing for the pleasure of writing stories, there is an end goal in mind. How do I make money from writing this story? And sometimes if it has a particularly controversial idea, something that people are fighting about right now, how do I put it in the book and make it something that other people can consume? Will it just be consumed by those who are curious or open-minded? And I don't know. Who's going to buy your book? Who's going to say something about your book? Like, how are you going to make money? And I know people say just write. Just write whatever it is you're going to write. Why do you care about this? I care about the sales. I got bills to pay like any other person, you know? If you have a particular view of a controversial issue and you write it into your book, what do you think that will do for the sale of your book? And are you willing to go as far as you need to go in order to just like splash it out there? What if it's not your opinion and you're trying to explore the other side? What happens then? So those are just some of the things that I have been thinking about. In summary, this is what I have spoken about. Number one was starting a writers group. Are you part of a writers group that operates online? And if so, how is it going for you? How does it work? Is it successful? Is it helpful to you? Are there any books that you are reading currently that are challenging you in ways that you didn't think you could be challenged about your story? What are they? Can I read them? Leave your comments in the comment section below and let me know which these books are, because I'm telling you, I will want to read them as well. Thirdly, and probably more importantly, what do you do about controversial issues? Are you the kind of person who writes the other side to sort of explore what their thoughts are? Or are you the kind who will write controversial things into your books so that you can explore how you feel about them? Or are you the kind of writer who just does not even touch those things at all? Is this a choice that you have deliberately made? Whether it is that you've tackled the other side, your side, or just decided to remain neutral. So let me know, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of your comments in this discussion, and I will respond to each and every one of your comments. Thank you for staying and listening to me ramble on about the things that are pouring through my head. If you have not yet subscribed, there is a subscribe button. Please go ahead and and click it. And don't forget the notifications icon so that when I upload my next video, you will get a notice. Don't forget to like and share this video with people who you think will gain value from it. As always, have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful the rest of your day. Have a wonderful the end of August. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!